All right, guys, who is Ty Masterpool? Dude, you lit the world on fire. Your career has kind of been up and down. You came out with a bang, Star Racing, Yamaha. People remember you getting the whole shot at Redbud, throwing the #1 up. It was our Trevor Nelson who got the photo, the guy behind the camera.
Shout out to you, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, like probably one of your best photos.
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Getting the whole shot,
awesome.
Sticking the #1 up there. And so now, I mean, since then you started even this year at Bar X Suzuki for a little bit in Supercross. You bounced around a couple different teams, and now you're here. Can you explain like what your actual program is?
Yeah, the biggest thing is just it's my job as an athlete to make sure my program's the best. And I always got to be working my butt off, and no matter where that is, I got to make sure I'm in the best environment, got the best people around me, and that's my job as an athlete. So that's what I've been doing. Obviously, it's been a pretty emotional couple years with small injuries and then some big ones, and just small, not really huge mistakes, but mistakes I shouldn't be making. But it's all a learning curve. And yeah, I mean, first of all, just glory to God. I mean, just like what I said, it's been an emotional couple of years, but I've just been trusting in Him and believing in the plan He has for me. So yeah, just been doing that and just always working. No matter what I'm going to do, I want to do it to the fullest and with God through Him and all that. So.
Awesome. Well, perseverance, that's what your dad said.
Yeah,
and that's
always.
Pretty much been the story for you. You went 5-4 today for, what did you get overall, 6th? 5th?
I don't even know. I've been trying to figure that out.
Okay, 5th overall, right in that range, like 5th or 6th. But dude, I'm out there getting lapped, and I see this guy coming by just on rails, just unbelievably fast. And then after him, we're getting Ferrandis, we're getting Cooper Webb, Cincerillo. We're getting all these guys like, dude, this guy is the real deal. So a little backstory on who is Ty Masterpool. You guys were training at my house in Northern California, 2007.
I was like 5 years old. I just started riding a PW50.
Yeah, PW50. He was like, I was like 2007, so I'm like 11, 12 years old, and. I remember standing here with your brother Jesse, with Jake, your other brother, and we're at the track. We just got done doing our motos. Jerry had the track all ripped up, and there's a big roller right next to the shop, and Ty scrubs it while we're all standing there, and he's on a PW50. And I remember both of your brothers saying that no matter how good we are, he's going to be better than us someday. And pretty cool to see 450 National running up front. I mean, very impressive. Last weekend, you started the season on a 250. And I just want to keep talking more about your history.
You're good.
You know?
You're good.
So like scrubbing on a PW50, like that's my, some of my oldest memories of Ty Masterpool. And then fast forward a couple of years, going to your training facility, your family's training facility, his 956 training facility in Texas. That track is gnarly, and Jerry's on the dozer, ripping it deep. So when this track was super deep and gnarly this morning and I got passed by you, I was like, Ty is right at home today. Where we ride public tracks, and the public tracks are made for vet riders, beginners, novices, intermediates, pros. Your track is made for whatever you need that day. Your dad is on the dozer, and he's got conditions very similar to this, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of back to what I was saying. It's our job as athletes to make sure I'm in the best environment, and it's like that's why I'm in Texas. But there are new tracks every day. I mean, we have, if I'm struggling on this, we get to make that. So it's really just pouring all the money back into the program and doing that to improve. And that's why I'm based out of Texas. I wasn't born in Texas or anything like that, so it's not like homesick. But no, that's why we're based in Texas.
Because you get conditions like this.
It's the best training that we believe in, so that's why we're there.
That's cool. So last weekend was more hard pack, slick. They didn't rip it very deep. And then first lap of qualifying today, how happy were you that they just made it super gnarly out there?
Yeah, I mean, to me, always gnarlier the better. But yeah, I mean, no matter how the track is, smooth, all that.
Gotta make it
fun.
work.
Yeah, I'm making it work. But yeah, I mean, I like all their tracks. I like their City.
That's cool. So I guess talk a little bit about like how hard it is to mentally keep pushing when you're battling with guys you see on TV, guys who are champions, guys who been doing this a long time, guys who are a lot older than you. Can you remind everybody how old you are?
21.
21. So young little buck. And what is it like battling with those guys?
Yeah, it's gnarly. When we're in the moment, there's so much going on. You know it, but you don't. Or after the moto, it sinks in. But just trying to focus on myself and keep it cool and just like another day at home training.
That's cool. That's cool. And then tell everybody, you started the season on a 250. I was with you at Glen Helen Tuesday before Paula.
Yeah.
And you were working with Brandon from HM.
Yeah.
And they were working on 250 suspension. And then you showed up to Hangtown on a 450. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so we're hoping to make 250 work, and it's so hard to tell how it is until you go racing. And shout out to all these factory teams. I mean, they're all so good. All the 250 riders are so good. It's so competitive out there. And just don't have the finances to be doing new motors and all that stuff. So that's why we made the switch to the 450 to get a little more power. And at Hangtown, I actually raced the 450 on the 250 suspension. So shout out to Brandon, just shows you how good the suspension is. And then this weekend, they overnight us some 450 suspension. So we got about a day, half a day on that, and then came out here.
That's cool. And how much time had you had on a 450 before last weekend?
2 to 3 days.
Are you serious? Ever?
I've rode my brother's 450 probably like a couple years ago, like a couple laps, but yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Not too much.
Dude, that's pretty cool. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. And then can you talk a little bit about your sponsor? So you're wearing canvas gear. They make custom gear for you.
Yeah.
And then you got Sports Clips. That's a pretty cool sponsor.
Big shout out to Sports Clips. Fresh haircuts. But no, they're doing a lot of help. And then also B2 treatment, Dylan Walker over there. He's been sticking behind me for the last 2 to 3 years. I mean, big shout out to him. Wouldn't be here without that guy. And really appreciative of him. He's been keeping food in my belly. I'll keep it.
That's cool. That's cool. And then a little bit about your training facility. So everybody can go train there, right? You guys don't turn people away. So how's that work?
Yeah. So we keep it pretty low key and pretty core group. But yeah, we're open. We keep it pretty mellow. But yeah.
That's cool.
Anyone's more than welcome to come out.
That's cool. So, and then tell everybody where it's at in Texas.
Paradise, Texas. It's an hour northwest of DFW.
So, Jesse Masterpool's number, some of you guys might remember that name.
Yeah.
He was number 956. You guys have 95.6 acres, right?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That big God moment right there. Kind of, remember my dad actually came down to sign the papers of buying the property. And it was after he passed away, so he was kind of obviously like, what are we doing? Are we doing the right thing? And right when he was about to sign it, it was 95.6 acres. So he was just like, we're on the right path, so he just signed it. So that we actually didn't even know it was that acreage until he was signing the papers.
Pretty
so
cool.
Yeah,
Pretty
God
cool.
Moment right there for sure.
Pretty cool. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah,
great job.
you.
And you'll be at the rest of the rounds, right?
Yes, sir.
450.
Oh, yeah.
I guess, how modified is your bike? Like, what have you done to your bike? Because you only had 2 to 3 bays on it. So, stock motor, what are you doing?
FMF pipe and
Suspension. Triple clamps,
some bars.
linkage.
Yeah, just linkage and suspension, but yeah, the mods to the motor is just FMF pipe.
I like it. All right, shout out to FMF.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for your time, Ty.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
All right, Jerry Masterpool now. We said, who is Ty Masterpool? We talked about Ty. I brought up the time when we were in Sebastopol and Ty scrubbed the single right in front, and I was standing there with Jesse, Jake, and my brother Michael, and Jesse and Jake were saying, hey, we might be pretty fast right now, but when Ty gets older, he's gonna wax all of us. And do you remember him throwing some scrubs on PW50s?
Oh, I remember scrubbing, yeah.
He's quite the scrubber.
Yeah.
So Jerry's Ty's dad and Jerry and Tara, trainers. You guys have the training facility in Texas, his 956 facility. I've been there twice now, but for me, I remember more so training at our shop in Sebastopol, and maybe about a year or so that you guys were in and out of there. Even Ben LeMay's working the track today.
Yeah,
and
he did a great job.
He did a great job. He was ripping the start all day, preparing this track for months now. And Ben LeMay was there training with us when he was an amateur. So a lot of good times. But Jerry, just talk about how proud you are of Ty, and I guess the decision for him to go 450 too.
Obviously proud of what he's becoming, you know what I mean? The work that it's taken for him to get there.
Yep.
Even the hard times, you know, it's he's had a rough couple of years with just little injuries, but as you know, you've gone through them. It's part of the sport. And just what I'm really proud of is hard work. Excuse me. Being around you.
We go back a long time. It was
long
2007.
Yeah,
2007. That I think the 2006, 7, right in there.
Yeah.
And then running the wine country race.
Yeah. Oh, and that was wonderful too.
Yeah, so-
speaking of Ben LeMay.
Yeah, speaking of Ben LeMay, wine country motocross. My dad put on a race at. It was called Sears Point then. Now it's called Sonoma Raceway. It's been called Infineon since then. But it's the NASCAR Speedway track. And my dad was the one that put on this race, and Jerry was the one that turned parking lot 5 into a national motocross track. The place was sick. Ben LeMay, we thought, oh, he's going to win, but Zach Osborne showed up, a bunch of guys showed up. They put up a bunch of money for the winners, but we do go back a little ways. So it's pretty cool. But I'm super proud of Ty, and it's cool to get an interview with him, and cool to see as I'm getting lapped out there, see Ty just motoring on by with his style. But can you talk, I guess, about your track and when for me, when I was coming out of school in 5th grade and 6th grade, you had a new track every day for us at the shop. You still do that, new track every day, right?
Yeah.
So you got to keep Ty on his toes. And then when you get to gnarly, rutted conditions like this, Ty passed me in qualifying, and I was like, Ty is right at home right now because these ruts are so gnarly. And you make that for the guys, right?
Try and change it up from sand to mud to clay to loam to everything, because if they're looking for the big picture, they got to be ready for everything, not just one track. So we do that, and it's open for everybody, just like you guys were so gracious to let us come to your place, and you let other people in. We do the same thing where it's not exclusive. We do our best for our boys and the kids we're working with, but it's also open to anybody, everybody, to give them that same opportunity.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And it's a pretty gnarly track. I went there before Loretta's twice, and I got beat up. And it was like maybe took some confidence away before Loretta's because I only went in for 2 weeks, where you guys have been living, training, and doing it in the heat and humidity with gnarly soft tracks. So, all right, Jerry, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Great job with Ty, and we're looking forward to having Jake back out here. How long until he's healthy again?
The back is doing very, very good. Blood work. We're trying to get that figured out. Got a little problem there, but he's in good hands, good people, and like Ty, he's had a rough time, but I think that's a blessing, as you've gone through, and they all have to. It's that drive and work ethic and working through it and persevering and not giving up. That's the victory there. This is just frosting on the cake.
This is just frosting. I like it. All right. Jerry Masterpool, Ty Masterpool, thank you guys for watching this video. See you in the next one.